Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Jackson Southside Stadium. My name's Dan Reaves. As we get set for BallGame Blitz, presented by the Mirror-Exchange and is produced by Worthy Road Studios. Victor Blackens is the executive producer, and Scarlett Elliott, make it Scarlett Elliott as advertising manager. Paul Schulze is producer and editor. Kevin Thomas is the director of photography. And it's a pleasure to be here with you tonight. Huge game, Southside and the Bulldogs from Milan. For Southside tonight, the captains, Ty Bain, number 2. Number 8 is Kadera Kinney. And the injured Cade Willingham is wearing number 16, and Cade was one of the leading quarterbacks in all of West Tennessee. He's out tonight for Southside, again with injury. And number 23 for Southside is C.J. Hunt. For the Bulldogs, tonight's captains, we'll start with the man that runs the offense, Landon Walker. He's number 12. And the quarterback, Thorne Williams, number 47. Linebacker, he's very active defensively. Jaleel Buckner along that offensive and mostly defensive line, and Alan Staggs, number 64. Jaleel Buckner is number 58 for the Bulldogs. Those are the captains for tonight's game. Now this is a big one in 7-3A. Milan comes in with a record of 5 wins and 3 losses. 4-1 in region. Jackson Southside 5-3 as well, but only 2-3 when it comes to region play. These teams haven't met since 2002, and that is a shame. Great rivalry at one time will be renewed tonight. That last meeting was a Milan win, 23-7, back again in 2002. Just can't believe these two teams haven't met since then. How big is tonight's game? Well, for Southside, it's essential that they win. Here come the Bulldogs out into the field here with the black yard stripes and the black lettering. You don't see that often, but Southside, of course, in all black tonight with a little trim of pink, raising awareness for breast cancer.
On the toss.
He's going to go in, untouched, touchdown.
Milan going to kick off to start the game, so we're going to look at the Hawks without Willingham to start tonight's action. Nice kickoff, going to be taken in just inside the 5. Out across the 15, and that's just about it as the Bulldog kickoff coverage team down the field in plenty of times as we look at a Southside Milan matchup again for the first time since 2002. Boy, how times have changed since the last time these two teams have met. Southside for the last several years, of course, competing in Class 4A football, so that took them off the Bulldogs schedule. Back in the early 2000s, Milan and Southside and Crockett County just battled it out for district championships. But it's been a while. So here's Southside. Quads, top of the screen. Out of the shotgun they go with the man in motion. Option left side and hammered down to maybe a yard, and that's about all. As Bulldog defense been playing very well. A shaky start has given way to a very good football team. Jeff Morris will be the first one to tell you this team is getting better every single week. With Willingham out, Southside, Tariq Robinson, a senior, will step in at quarterback tonight. Out of the gun again. Rolling right, hits, and going to go down inside the 5-yard line. Oh, boy. So not a good start for Southside, but if you're a Bulldog fan, it is a good start. I said Robinson. I talked with the coaches earlier. Ricky Beard, the QB that time. Ricky is a junior for the Hawks. And Southside, who's thrown the ball very well this year with Willingham, now trying to make some adjustments. It's 3rd down and a country mile after that sack. Under center this time for the Hawks. Just trying to work out of the shadow of their own goalpost, but hammered down inside the 5-yard line. Not much there at all. Robinson blasted, and Southside will have to punt it. They'll go 3 and out on the opening possession. Oh, boy. Jeff Morris looking for win number 204 tonight as the Bulldog head football coach. Milan should have good field position to start things. Big crowd on hand at Southside. Of course. Oh, boy, we got some movements. Milan may have jumped off sides. We'll see. Bryce Vandauer and company defensively on that opening possession. Bryce may have moved early there, but Southside for years with the white helmets. They've switched over to black. Here's the punt. Nearly, it is blocked. It's blocked, and it's in the end zone. Who's going to pick it up? It's going to squirt free, and out of the end zone, that's going to be a safety. So Milan, whoa, boy, what a start for the Bulldogs. The block punts will travel in and out of the end zone for a safety. Let's see if we can tell on the instant replay who got to that ball first. It looked like Vandauer to me. Now, my positioning, Storm Williams, I believe, blocked that one. My spotter, the older I get at, I employ a spotter. And my spotter also has to run and get coffee. Right now, my spotter is running to get some coffee. And I think that was Storm Williams that blocked that punt. Southside electing for a kickoff. And a short one, taking it to 40 and back to the 36-yard line. Strange choice there on the free kick after the safety. And Milan's going to get beautiful field position. Martez Brooks brings that one back. And the Bulldogs are in great shape. 1st and 10 from the Hawk 36-yard line, already up 2-0 here early in the first quarter. Southside has to win tonight, or they will be eliminated, depending on what else happens, specifically between South Gibson and Dyersburg. So here's Milan, I formation, play action. Walker rolling right, firing towards the end zone, caught down at the 10-yard line, and falling at the 8 on a gorgeous pitch and catch. That's J.P. Porter on the reception. Is Landon Walker. Play action. Rolls to his right and fires a strike across his body. Nice catch. That's the way you do it, you youngsters watching out there. You catch with your hands. Don't let it into your body. So Milan, 1st and goal. Already up 2-0. I formation. Ballard, the tailback. It'll be Ballard right side. Ballard fights to the 5, inside the 5. Touchdown! Wow. Anthony Ballard from 8 yards out. Look at the sophomore here. Look at the field vision on the replay. Patiently waiting for that seam. Found it, and then shows the power and runs through a tackle into the end zone. And Milan takes an 8-0 lead.
North or fall.
Extra point is perfect by Connor Allen. And with 8:54 left in the first, it's Milan 9 and Southside nothing.
Milan Bulldogs 9.
Nine nothing. Just under 9 minutes remaining in the first quarter. My name's Dan Reaves. A pleasure to be with you tonight. Connor Allen kicking off for the Bulldogs. Great to be here at Southside Stadium. Short kickoff this time, taken near the 15. All room outside the numbers. And out near midfield as the helmet pops loose. And Milan had a little bit of trouble last week with their kickoff coverage. And again on this long return. Jeremiah Bronner brings it back 40 yards. We'll make that 34 yards, I'm told, officially. So the Hawks, much different looking field position to start this drive after having to punt from the own end zone. As Ricky Beard goes under center with the I formation and 2 wide. On the ground, hammered. Trying to bounce free, but can't do it as Gang tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Not much there. Buckner, one of the team captains, in on that tackle. Kind of blowing things up on the run blitz was Cameron King. Then polishing things off, coming in there was Buckner and company. So the gain is, it's 1 yard after the second effort to get back to the line of scrimmage for the Hawks. Back to the shotgun, and it's a fumble. Milan has it, I believe. Wait a minute. No, they say incomplete pass. Shuttle pass, they call it. Also, let's look at this on the eye care group. Well, yeah, that's the old Utah pass is what was ruled there by the official. And a break for Southside. Because that was going back the other way in a hurry. 9-0 Milan, in case you're just joining us. Block punt for a safety, and then an Anthony Ballard 8-yard touchdown run. We get some laundry on the field. This game is huge for so many reasons. From Milan, well, if you look at 7-3-8, Liberty's in command. Illegal procedure, the call. Liberty's in command with a 5-0 records in region. They play McNary tonight, so you can go ahead and pencil in a 9-0 and 6-0 record. South Gibson and Dyersburg, a huge game. We'll tell you more about that. Here's Beard back to throw. Beard, he's going to run it. Outside the numbers, has the 45 and forced out of bounds near the 44-yard line. Ricky Beard making the start tonight. He's going to be shy of the first down. On the eye care group replay, nobody open. Nice job of the Bulldogs secondary. Walker had a shot at him at midfield, couldn't bring him down. Fourth down and 2. Southside going to roll the dice, and why not? You win tonight or you're eliminated from playoff contention. Here's Beard to the air. High and incomplete. Oh, boy. C.J. Hunt, the intended receiver. That was just floated on Beard. Hunt, if he could have got it to him, he might have had a chance. Bearing down on him was a couple of Bulldogs. So Milan already up 9-0 here in the first quarter. Will have the ball. Another nice starting field position. This time at their own 44. Big Bulldog crowd on hand tonight. Milan travels as well as anyone, maybe with the exception of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here's Walker out of the gun, play action. Back to the air he goes, caught at the 40. Here's Brooks outside the numbers and dragging tacklers down to the Southside 35-yard line. Brooks from Walker. And Milan is right back in Hawk territory. Boy, Landon Walker's becoming just an excellent quarterback. And Lamartez Brooks, one of the finest receivers in West Tennessee. Now, their stats are not going to be up there near the leaderboard. But remember, this team had to find its identity. But since Milan has carved out its own identity, this football team, one of the best in West Tennessee. Here's Ballard, the sophomore. He'll fight down to the 31-yard line.
Tackle on the play. By number 27 for the Hawks, Timothy McGowan.
So Ballard's, again, with that beautiful field vision. Look at that nice cutback.
You're probably right. I won't argue with you.
Pickup is 5. It's 2nd and 5.
They started at the 40.
Closer to 6, they tell me. Landon Walker goes under center this time. Here's the fullback straight ahead. Inside to 30, and the ball's loose. Southside has it. Oh, boy, so a break for Southside. As that was squirted free and right into the arms of a Southside Hawk, and Milan has coughed it up. Yep, that ball squirted. It squirted free. And fortunately, that one didn't go the distance the other way. So Southside will take over. From their own 40, Beard will go shotgun with 3 wide receivers. Beard, here comes the pressure, fires in. This one is caught. Beard connects for the big gainer, and the Hawks for the first time tonight in Milan territory. Cameron King came on the blitz. Beard was able to stand in there and release it just before King arrived. And the Hawks are in business at the Milan 38. Beard back to the gun with 2 running backs and 3 wide. Beard calls his own number and bam, hit at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there. Storm Williams, Spencer Walker, and you name it. Cameron King came on that run blitz again. He didn't get there. Thomas Burns in there. Trips this time, bottom of the screen for Southside. They go 1 running back set, 1 wide split, far top of the screen. Milan with 4 down linemen showing blitz. Here's Beard in trouble. He lost it, gets it back, and he's going to go down. Oh, boy, back at the Southside 45-yard line, and there's our man, Spencer Walker, who's played one tremendous, well, I should say, he's had one tremendous defensive year for the Bulldogs after going almost exclusively to the defensive side of the ball. Look at Spencer Walker. Brooks in there as well. So it's going to be, when they finish marking this thing off all the way back to the Hawk 44-yard line. 3rd down at a country mile. Beard shotgun. Here's Beard rolling left, looking downfield. He's going to fire it underneath and caught. And it's loose again, and I think Milan may have scooped it. No, they say out of bounds at the Bulldog 45-yard line. That was nearly picked off. And then nearly a fumble recovery. Spencer Walker coming up. You can see the coverage was there. Well, I think he may have stepped out actually in Southside territory, but officials may have missed that one. J.P. Porter nearly was there, nearly made the interception. And Southside going to go for it on 4th down and 15. Here's Beard. Across the middle he goes and caught inside the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown. Are you serious? Wow. Well, that's Kenny. That's 44 yards for the touchdown. Cordero Kenny, senior wide receiver. Southside going to go for 2. Beard's going to throw it. Picked off in the end zone.
2-point conversion is intercepted in the end zone.
Blake Miller.
It's no good.
4:31 left in the first quarter. Our new score, Milan 9 and Southside 6. One of the stranger plays you'll ever see. Blake Miller said, didn't fool me. Nine to 6. Milan with the advantage by 3. 4 minutes and change left. We're in quarter number 1. Squib kick, I should say. Why not? We've seen everything here in the first quarter. Brooks will just simply cover it like a blanket at the 36-yard line. This where Milan will take over 1st and 10. Well, okay. Hope you brought your popcorn tonight. This first quarter's featured almost everything that could possibly happen in a football game. So Liberty has a 5-0 record. They have the number 1 slot right now in 7-3-8. Milan firmly set at number 2. We'll tell you more about the standings here in just a moment. Milan, Walker under center. He'll hand it off. Here's Ballard's 40, and he'll go down at the 42. 7, maybe 8 yards on first down for sophomore Anthony Ballard. So 7-3-8, Liberty has the number 1 slot right now. There's no, Z plan and all this garbage that we've had to deal with the last several years. The top 4 teams from each region make the playoffs, and that's it. If you're not there in the top 4, then we'll have to say goodnight. 2nd down and 2, Milan. On the ground again, working left side. That's going to be plenty for the first down out to the 47-yard line. On the carry, it's good to see Jeff go right back to the young man. Tristan McDaniel, who's been a very solid fullback all season for Milan, coughed it up on the last series. So Milan and Liberty. Then Westview has right now the 3 seed, and South Gibson the 4 seed. But Dyersburg and Southside both with identical 2 and 3 records. Dyersburg, if they win tonight at South Gibson, would take over that 4 slot. And South Gibson would nearly virtually be eliminated. Here's Walker under pressure, firing downfield, and it's deflected and incomplete.
Pass is defended on the play by number 2, Todd Bain.
So, still here in only 2 games, including this one left in the regular season, still some things to be worked out as far as who's going and who's not going to the playoffs. Brooks, the intended receiver. Nice crowd again. Way to go, Bulldog fans. You travel with the best of them. Right across the way. Nice job, Kevin Thomas. Here's Ballard. Outside the numbers. Makes a move and goes down near the sticks. Near the Hawk 42-yard line. Anthony Ballard, the super sophomore running back for the Bulldogs. Anthony's name is coming up and showing up on the big board at some big schools. A lot of interest. For the sophomore running back coming from colleges. 3rd down and a yard from Milan. Williams man in motion. Here's Ballard's 1st down yardage inside the 40, and Anthony battles down to the Hawk 36-yard line, and that's going to move the chains for the Bulldogs. Tonight's game being presented by, as you watch the slow motion instant replay, the Eye Care Group, 1000 Van Drive in Jackson. What's more important than your vision? 668-3018. The Eye Care Group. 1st and 10 Bulldogs. Here's Landon Walker. Play action, rolling right. Landon looking. He's going to run this one. Has the 30. Has the 25. And he's cut down near the 23-yard line. That's something that Landon Walker can do well, and that is run the football and throw it. There is some laundry, however, in the secondary. We'll take a look and see what this is. Well, we had a receiver fall down. Cameron Oliver slipped and fell. Been raining off and on. Now that handkerchief may have just fallen out of the zebra's pockets. Inadvertent. First and 10 Bulldogs, just outside the red zone at the Southside 23. Ballard again, hit at the 20, bounces off a tackle, and then goes down to the 17.
Anthony Ballard, tackle on the play by number 4, Tariq Robinson. Second down.
He got better as the year went on.
Robinson, I believe, in on the tackle there for Southside. For that offensive line for Milan. Played so well. Jacob Bremer and company and Fisher. Here's Ballard again with Boom. Cut down at the 9, but he'll have another Bulldog first down. Anthony Ballard. This young man.
Anthony Ballard, tackle on the play by number 8, Cordier Kenny.
That field vision, you look at the hole there, but that right side of the offensive line. Just well blocked. Luke Wren over there on that right side. Ben Fry. Blocking well. There's Williams in motion. And we got some laundry. Delay a game. If the Eye Care Group PLC, there's our sole focus is to inspire the trust of our patients for all your eye care needs. 668-3018 for the Eye Care Group PLC. First and goal after the penalty at the 14. Here's Walker under center. It's Ballard with room inside the 10, and Ballard goes down at the 9. 5 yards for Anthony on first down. Working that right side again, behind the right side of that offensive line for the Bulldogs. Lucas Fisher, son of John Fisher. John was an all-state offensive lineman for Milan. Then went on to play and start for much of his 4 years for the University of Tennessee, the Vols. That's going to do it for the first quarter. After 1, it's Milan 9 and Jackson Southside 6 on the BallGame Blitz.
You're watching the BallGame Blitz.
On to the second quarter we go. Milan with a 9-6 advantage. The Bulldogs have it. Second and goal from the Hawk 9. 2 wide, split bottom of the screen. Here's Landon Walker under center. Landon play action rolling left. Landon firing. Pump fake, firing. Touchdown. It's Brooks. The Marquez Brooks on the 9-yard touchdown reception. And Milan takes a 15-6 lead. That's Walker. You see, he was right at the line of scrimmage when he fired that touchdown pass. And I know some Hawk fans have said, wait a minute, but in order for that to be an illegal forward pass, Walker would have had to have his entire body past the line of scrimmage, and he did not. Extra points, perfect. And the Bulldogs take a 16-6 lead after Connor Allen's extra point.
9-16, Southside Hawks 6.
The Milan fight song. Boy, I've heard that 1,000,001 times in my lifetime, but it never gets old. And don't say Milan stole that from Notre Dame. It was the other way around, as I understand it. Connor Allen to kick off. Into the end zone and touchback. Connor Allen, nice job.
Ball is down the end zone for a touchback. 1st and 10, Hawks.
McNeil Grange Insurance Agency. See John Moore and his staff for all your insurance needs at McNeil Grange Insurance Agency located in downtown Milan. They are specialists when it comes to comparing rates and customizing to get the plan that you need and the best deal for you. They'll suit your personal needs. McNeil Grange Insurance. They offer a variety of discounts and have amazing claim service to get to work for you. See my buddy John Moore today at McNeil Grange Insurance, 686-0765. So Southside, down by 10. They'll have it from their own 20. Here's Beard. He'll keep it. Beard caught at the 24 and dragged down there.
Ball carries number 8, 48 Kenny.
Jaleel Buckner with a beautiful open field tackle. Look at this. Just snatched him by the arm and said, well, wait a minute, Mr. Beard. And Buckner throws him down. They're going to mark him just shy of the 24. Gain of 3, maybe 3.5 on first down. 2nd down and 7. We're early in the second quarter. Here's Beard. He'll hand it off this time. Hammered at the 25. Stand on his feet for an extra yard or so. Is Robinson.
3rd down.
It'll be 3rd down for the Hawks. Reagan Supreme plus tax. Reagan Supreme Muffler in Milan, proud supporters of the Bulldogs. Joey and Johnny, they'll take care of all your automotive needs. They specialize in tires and exhaust systems and oil changes and brakes on Highland and Milan. Reagan Supreme Muffler. 3rd down. Here's Beard. Hit as he throws, but he has it complete. Out at the 31-yard line, and that's going to be enough for a Hawk first down as Beard connects with the John Polk, the junior wide receiver. And that is enough for a Hawk first down. Southside's coached by Brian Moore in his first year. Got this team off to a 5-0 start. He's assisted by Tyler Reeder, Brent McNeil, who's a great American, very close personal friend of mine, Jacob Barber and Holden Bennett. Back to the ground, working left side from the 31 out to the 33. It's a gain of a couple of yards. Jaleel Buckner on the tackle. Robinson on the carry. The South Side, or make that the South Gibson-Dyersburg game tonight. You lose that game, you're pretty much gone, honestly, from the playoff race, especially if you're South Gibson, but Milan coming up next week. Oh, Robinson on the reception. Just a little dump off, and he's going nowhere.
3rd down.
It'll be 3rd down and long. Beautifully read that time by the Milan defense. Spencer Walker applying the pressure. And then Storm Williams just shot out of a cannon to make that tackle. Oh, 3rd down and 8. That was a loss of a yard. So Beard back to the shotgun with 4 wide receivers. Robinson the lone setback. Beard rolling left. Under pressure, fires, and incomplete.
Pass is incomplete. From Ricky Beard.
So the Hawks going to be forced to punt it.
Number 23, C.J. Hunt.
Look at the penetration there. Cameron King and company applying the pressure on Beard. Fourth down and 8, and the Hawks going to punt it away. Oh, they fake it. They run it left side. And they're going to get they'll have it. Oh, boy. My goodness, boy, Southside rolling the dice big time, and why not? Brian Moore says, wait a minute, we're playing for our playoff lives here. That's C.J. Hunt. It was 4th down and 8, and Hunt was able to squeeze out 9 yards and a first down on the fake punt. Well, Anita Tucker, the principal here at Jackson Southside, I know she's smiling on that play. Here's Beard back to the ground. Robinson hammered down at the line of scrimmage. Oh, boy. Vicious tackle that time. Spencer Walker. This guy, Spencer Walker. And he's only a junior from Milan. He wears number 1. You'll see him, he'll stand just behind that line of scrimmage. Almost a defensive end hybrid linebacker. Here he is again, crashing down. He didn't make the tackle that time, but he's going to make sure nothing gets outside of him. On the ground for a yard, maybe 2, Southside. Well, they're going to stretch that out. That's a 3-yard gain, pardon me. Robinson again on the carry. Buckner and company in on the tackle. Demetrius Carter, sophomore in there from Milan. 3rd and 4. Here's Beard back to throw. Fires high and incomplete.
Pass is intended for number 8, 48 Kenny.
Blake Miller on the coverage for Milan. So another 4th down. We'll see if the Hawks roll the dice again. The element of surprise with a fake punt will have been lost. So they'll just go for it. 4 wide, 2 split far, top and bottom. Here's Beard. Back to throw. Beard fires, incomplete. He had his man across the middle, just couldn't connect. Mark Ballard had come clean. In the middle of the field, you can see Ballard just scraped right behind the linebackers and was open. Beard's pass was behind him and incomplete. So Milan will take over at the Southside 48-yard line, leading 16-6. Midway point, 2nd quarter. Here's Landon Walker under center. Hands it off. Anthony Ballard hits and drops at the line of scrimmage for one of the few times tonight.
65 for the Hawks, Jordan Taylor.
Jordan Taylor on the tackle. The PA announcer here at Jackson Southside is one of the best in the business. A name that's certainly a household name, Hal Freeman. Trips top of the screen from Milan. Here is Walker. He'll hand it off to Ballard. Ballard moves from the 48 down to the 46. Make that the 49 down to the 46. The gain is 3 to bring up 3rd down and 8.
Hawks fans, get on your feet.
So Milan, after a furious start, kind of geared it down just a little bit. Let's see if the offense can crank up here before halftime. Walker goes shotgun. He'll hand it off. Ballard's hammered. He's not going to get there.
Back on the play by number 9, Jawan Pope. 4th down.
Well, hate to see Milan waste such good starting field position. Jawan Polk made that tackle. The Bulldogs going to be forced to punt it away.
Back to receive the Hawks, number 23, C.J. Hunt.
C.J. Hunt standing deep for Southside, awaiting the punch. Giants punt. Will hit at the 22 and carry him backwards.
1st and 10, Hawks.
So,
16-6 ain't what he had in mind. 16-13 for sure ain't what he had in mind.
16-6, Milan leads it midway through the
No, it's a little concerning to me.
second quarter.
Man, they were out of early.
So Southside trying to get things going themselves and down by 10. On the ground they go with some room. Across the 30, out to the 35. And falling at the 36. That's going to be an 11-yard gain and a first down for Southside. Tariq Robinson on the carry, and the Hawks move the chains. Spencer Walker had a shot at him. You don't see him miss many tackles. Had a shot at the line of scrimmage, couldn't bring him down.
They're sticking to that.
Beard goes under center, pitches right side. Robinson hammered. Storm Williams got there first.
Ball carriers tackle on the play by number 47 for the Bulldogs. Storm Williams.
J.P. Porter also in on that tackle for the Bulldogs. Storm, bam. Also coming in there to assist, Bryce Vandiver. Here's Southside to the air. Underneath, they complete it, in trouble and dumped. Vandiver again, and back there on the tackle, Spencer Walker, Blake Miller, all in on the tackle. That's kind of telegraphed. And blowing that play up was Cameron Oliver, beating the blocker to get to the receiver, and that's really ended all hope of that play being successful. Nice play by cornerback Cameron Oliver. 3rd down and 8 for Southside. 4 wide for Ricky Beard out of the shotgun. Here comes the pressure. Hit as he throws. It's incomplete. Milan blitzed him and they got to him. And Southside going to have to punt it away. Cameron King on the blitz. Bam! Beard did well just to throw that one away. The Southside had flirted with going for it, so 4th down and 8. They say, no, we're going to punt it away. Oh, they are going to fake it. Look out here. Incomplete.
Pass is incomplete. Intended for number 4.
Well, Robinson, the intended receiver, a flag is down. Well, holding on Southside. And, of course, Milan's going to decline it. Strange alignment there. That was a punting situation for Southside. So Milan will get its great field position inside the Hawk 40. Here's Brooks on the end around. Outside the numbers 30 and scampering out of bounds near the 25-yard line. I said Brooks. That was J.P. Porter, the junior. And Porter moves the chains for the Bulldogs. Look at the speed there by Porter to get to the edge. And he's out at the 25-yard line, and that's a Bulldog first down. 2 wide, top of the screen here from Milan. Here's Walker. Play action. Back to throw. Fires. Brooks has it at the 12, and he'll go down there, and that's a gain of 11 and another Milan first down. Lamartez Brooks, watch Brooks here on the, is Walker fires that ball before Brooks cut his pattern off. That's these two, Walker and Brooks, are on the same page. Boy, they look good playing together. Here's Ballard, left side with room. Has the 5. Ballard, touchdown! Anthony Ballard from 12 yards out. Anthony Ballard, the sophomore. Look at him, just outrunning the defense to the pylon, breaking a tackle at the 5-yard line. Anthony Ballard. Bass had a chance or a shot at him to make that tackle at the 5, but just couldn't bring the sophomore down.
He was trying to come up and get him from the back. That's the only reason he looked so close.
Which one of them playing college ball right there?
I couldn't tell you that now.
Connor Allen extra points is no good this time. And with 2:25 left before halftime, Milan extends their lead to 22-6 over the Southside Hawks.
Milan Bulldogs 22, Southside Hawks 6.
22-6, Milan leads Jackson Southside. 2:25 remaining in the first half.
Ball's kicked in the end zone, touchback, first and
That
10
kickoff will travel into the end zone for a touchback, and the Hawks will have it on the 20. I want to welcome back in Kevin Thomas to the telecast.
Did you really? I don't feel so bad about missing that 4-time play then.
Which one?
You can hear the some chatter in the background. My man is working on our videographer Kevin Thomas's ear. Southside. They need to do something more before halftime. Milan's starting to pull away, 22-6. Beard going to keep it, and he's hammered.
He sure does kick that one.
Nothing on first down.
18, Ricky Beard on the carry, second down, Hawks.
Spencer Walker knifing in there, Jaleel Buckner and Storm Williams.
You just never know.
No gain on first down, it's second down. And 10 for the Hawks.
That was big. Boy, I got a customer to teach him on. Dad stuff like that. That was good.
Beard to shotgun. Running the option, right side. Bam! 1 yard and that's it.
We put some up several years ago.
Boy, these Bulldogs are swarming to the football, and when they get there, it's nothing nice. Bam! Whew, man. Milan looking to pick up win number 6 on the season. It's after a 1-3 start, folks. This team has really turned it around. Here's Beard rolling right. Here comes the pressure, firing down the sideline. Caught at the 45-yard line. I mean, right in stride with the pass. And the completion to Cordelia Kinney. Oh, boy. That's the best throw of the night from Beard. And he just heaved it. Right in stride. At the Milan 42. The new line of scrimmage. Beard rolling left. Firing. Caught. And out of bounds just inside the Milan 30. That's going to be another first down for Southside. So just like that, the Hawks are in striking distance. That's C.J. Hunt on the reception. Yeah, Hunt for 11 and a Hawk first down. You can leave my volume up. Be fine. 22-6. Milan with the advantage. Southside on the move. And let's see.
Here we go. Taking out of bounds play. Let's go back to that play now. We got a minute.
We got a timeout. Milan. So after Milan discusses some strategy, 1st and 10 Southside. To Milan 30, here's Beard, back to throw. Beard's gonna run it with some room. Beard has the 20 and has another first down. Forced out of bounds by Storm Williams. So Southside quickly down the field here with a 2-minute drill.
About 3 yards late.
So Beard steps up in the pocket, no one open. Has to outrun a linebacker, and he does so. And gets out of bounds to stop the clock. So Ricky Beard, nicely done. 1st and 10 Hawks in the Milan red zone. Beard rolling right this time. Here comes the pressure. Throws it away, and there's no one in the vicinity. That's going to be grounding. I'm pretty sure that's going to be grounding on Southside. Just no one out there. And that ball did not travel
Grounding on the Hawks, loss of down on the play.
to the line of scrimmage, so that's an easy grounding penalty. The line of scrimmage, the 20. You can see Beard gave up so much ground, not even close to getting that back to the line of scrimmage, so grounding. And Southside going to burn a TO. It's 22-6, Milan. Big penalty, huge penalty there on the illegal grounding. So it's Southside with it now. All of a sudden, that's a 21-yard penalty, essentially. Here's Beard from the 41, stepping up. Pressure, sacked. Oh, they got him. Oh, boy.
On the play.
Jordan Sturdivant.
3rd down.
It'll be 3rd down. And a country mile, and Southside burns another timeout. So 3rd down for Southside. 3rd down and over 30 yards. Yeah. And
They got 12.
12 players on the field for Southside. Boy, not good. Coming out of a timeout, now Southside they had reached the Milan 20, and now they go in reverse. It'll be 3rd down at about 36 from the Milan 46. Beard, shotgun, trips, top of the screen. Empty backfield. Here's Beard. Pressure. Beard escapes. Beard sacked. Wow. Back at the 40-yard line in Southside territory. Sacked by Bryce Van Diver on the last play of the first half. Well, no, they say there's time for one more play here in the first half. Look at Van Diver. Got him. Bam.
10 seconds. Yes. Continuation, right?
Now time for a Hail Mary. Here's Beard. He'll just fire it up. And picked off.
Pass is intercepted on the play.
Intercepted Milan in the last play of the first half.
Once again, your halftime score.
Cameron Oliver on the INT.
Milan Bulldogs 22, Southside Hawks 6.
22-6, Milan at halftime over Jackson Southside.
You're watching the BallGame Blitz.
Nice performance by the Jackson Southside marching band at halftime, and we are ready for half number 2. Milan receiving is a squib kick. Bulldogs covered up at the 44-yard line, and that's where the Bulldog offense will start the second half, enjoying a 22-6 advantage over the Southside Hawks. My name's Dan Reaves. Nice to have you with us here on the Mirror-Exchange website and also on NBC. Milan football on the BallGame Blitz presented by the Mirror-Exchange and is produced by Worthy Road Studios. Victor Parkins is the executive producer. Scarlett Elliott, advertising manager. Paul Schulze is producer and editor. Kevin Thomas, director of photography. Walker to the air on first down, has his man out near the 50, and Brooks fights
Pass is complete.
for the 50. A flag is down in the backfield. However, and this one will likely come back.
Full flag right there.
Yes, it is. I got flag
See if we can pick up the infraction here. Brooks on the reception. If it stands.
Personal foul against the Hawks face mask.
Oh, face mask on Southside. And unsportsmanlike on Milan.
The Milan Bulldogs.
So those two penalties will offset. And we'll do it over.
First and 10, Milan Bulldogs.
So after the dust settles, first and 10 Milan. Bulldogs have it at the 46-yard line. Walker back to throw. Across the middle and incomplete. Behind his intended receiver, had him open. Jonathan Crabb, the intended receiver. Well, Crabb had that middle wide open. No, Landon would like to have that one back. Had to hit him in stride. He may still be running.
Where's the deepest guy? You want him right about
I want everybody.
You want him? You want your deepest guy right about those others. They didn't take it. I want everybody. Yeah, but everybody.
Second and 10 for the Bulldogs. Trips, bottom of the square. Walker goes shotgun. Ballard, the tailback. Walker going to keep it with move. Has the 40. Has the 30. Look out. He may go. Landon Walker. Touchdown.
Number 12.
How many times have we seen him do that this year? Beautiful ball handling. Landon put it right into the gut of Ballard, and he makes the decision to keep it, and he goes 44 yards with that deceptive speed, outrunning the secondary for Southside into the end zone for the Milan touchdown. And the Bulldogs take a 28-6 lead. Here's Connor Allen for the PAT. We're not even a minute into the second half. Connor's kick splits the uprights, and Milan takes a 29-6 lead over Southside.
Your new score with 11:24 left in the third quarter. Milan Bulldogs 29. Your Southside Hawks 6.
Allen to kick off. Milan enjoying a 29-6 cushion.
Kick off for the Bulldogs.
Nice kickoff by Allen. Boy, how was that not a touchback? Back out near the 20 for a hammer down there. Uh-oh. Got some extracurricular again. Was that the kicker? Let's see what happens here near the end. I think that was Milan's kicker. Hey, don't mess with the kicker. That's going to be offsetting.
Yeah, ball and sportsmanlike conduct against the Hawks, against the Bulldogs.
Well, that was very nearly a touchback and also very nearly a knee down on the 1 yard line for Southside.
Penalties all set, 1st and 10 Hawks.
So, well then, football is an emotional game, and even for kickers. Milan showing blitz. Here's Beer, good option at left side. Outside the numbers. Hit out near the 30-yard line, close to a first down for Southside, and he got it.
That's enough yardage for another first down.
The tightrope in that sideline.
That's what we missed. I don't remember where. I couldn't tell you what side.
Robinson for the first down. Here's Beard. Shotgun. Swings it out high and incomplete.
Pass is incomplete. Intended for number 4.
Storm Williams, he tackles Robinson, but for both Robinson and Williams, that certainly was not a clear-cut incompletion. They played it out, nearly a lateral, and we've got holding on Southside. It was a forward pass, but it was close enough that once Robinson scooped it up and was headed downfield, Williams said, hey, you know what? Can't be too careful here, and made the tackle. So first down and 20 after the penalty. Here's Beard. Pressure comes. Beard throws, completes, and it dumps back at the 10-yard line. Blake Miller on the tackle. Here comes Miller. Watch him react. Bam! Nicely done, Miller. Kenny on the reception. So it's second down and Southside's going to have to go to downtown Bemis for the first down. Robinson, long setback from Beard out of the shotgun. He'll stand near his 5-yard line. Here comes the pressure again. Beard dumps it underneath and incomplete. Looking for Robinson.
Pass is incomplete, intended for number 4.
And flags are down here. If this is what I think it is, I'm going to have to disagree with that flag. I think they may have Milan for unnecessary roughness.
Personal foul, late hit against the Bulldogs. First down, Hawks.
Well, how do you call that? Walker's going to draw the flag, but he was zeroed in on Robinson. I don't know how you're supposed to slam the brakes on and anyhow, it's third down and Still long here for Southside. 3rd and about 16. We'll call it 15. Beard calls his own number. Beard dumps. A yard, maybe 2, and that's all.
4th down for the Hawks.
Well, not a lot of plays in the repertoire, but Gunn making the tackle for Milan. Well, I mean, you're watching the game at home in the privacy of your own home, and this one's it's a little bit sloppy, but it's out of hand, 29-6 Milan. Southside going for it deep in their own territory. Here's Beard rolling right. Beard fires and completes. That's enough for a first down, so Southside converts.
First down.
Let's see that again, Kevin.
I missed the kid.
It's Kenny on the reception.
Right there.
Well, Beard does have a strong right arm, and the pressure was coming. He stood right in there and fired a strike along the near sideline for the first down. Beard's problem is he hasn't had much time tonight. Here's Robinson. Robinson gobbled up. He's not going to make it back to the line of scrimmage. Milan just crowding that line of scrimmage and daring Southside to throw the ball. Storm Williams applying first contact. That'll lose half a yard. Here's Milan showing blitz again. Beard gonna run it and bang down behind the line of scrimmage again.
Number 18, Ricky Beard on the carry.
Ricky Beard's gonna need a lot of whirlpool time tomorrow. Look at Spencer Walker, that penetration in the backfield, fighting off a blocker. Then swinging around to make contact. Spencer Walker. Love the way this kid plays football. Third and 11. Here's Beard back to throw. Beard pump fake. Here comes the pressure. Beard fires. Nearly intercepted at the 45. It'll go incomplete.
Intended for number 5, Mark Ballard.
Ballard's.
4th down.
Here's the targets. Beard. Heavy pressure. Nearly picked off. Southside facing another 4th down. They just converted 4th and 15. This time it's 4th and 11. Four wide for quarterback Ricky Beard. Out of the gun he goes. Here's Beard setting up the screen. Has it. Out to midfield. Still fighting into Milan territory. He's going to come up shy of that first down. A nice effort, but not going to have the necessary yardage to keep this one going for the Hawks.
Ball goes up on down.
Mark Ballard. It's tough to drag Jaleel Buckner and company. You can't do it very far. So the Bulldogs will take over 1st and 10. Just inside the Bulldog territory at the 49. Here's Landon Walker under center. Across the middle and incomplete. Well, Brooks nearly had that one. That middle is open for Milan if they want to exploit it.
2nd down.
Brooks will be the first one to tell you he should have made that catch. Second down for the Bulldogs. To the ground, the Ballards. Not much there. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
Number 14, Cordell Bass.
Slow motion instant replay being presented by the Eye Care Group, PLC. All your eye care needs. At 1000 Van Drive in Jackson. The phone number is 731-668-3018. The Eye Care Group, PLC. 3rd and 10 for Milan. Walker out of the gun, back to throw. Across the middle again he goes, and incomplete.
Pass is defended.
Looking for Brooks, that was well covered. And the Bulldogs looking at 4th down and 10. Nice. C.J. Hunt applying very tight coverage for the Hawks. So Milan punting for only the 2nd time tonight. Nice high punt, gonna roll inside the 10, inside the 5. Beautifully done by Allen.
Ball's down to the 5-yard line, 1st and 10 Hawks.
That's a 51-yard punt with no return. So midway through the 3rd quarter, Milan with a 29-6 lead over Jackson Southside. And if the Hawks are going to cut into this lead, they'll have to travel 96 yards. Beard will go under center. On the ground, hammered. Back near the 2-yard line.
Robinson on the carry.
Robinson didn't have a chance.
54. Bryce Vandiver.
Bryce Van Diver, Spencer Walker there, the defensive end. This Bulldog defense is getting tougher and tougher. A loss, 2 yards, and 2nd down and 12. Beard looks to the sideline for instruction, goes under center with a full house backfield, and we've got whistles. Timeouts. Southside, they want to talk about it. We'll take the timeout with them. 29-6 Milan. (29-6), Milan with the advantage. Milan took a quick 9-0 lead after blocking a punt for a safety, and it's a fumble. Who's got it?
Fumble play.
It's another safety. Holy moly, you don't see that very often. 2 safeties in one game. And with 6:03 left in quarter number 3, Milan takes a 31-6 lead. Southside cheerleaders trying to find something to cheer about. Not much tonight for the Southside faithful. Got a lot of friends over here in Bemis. Anita Tucker, the principal. Free kick, and Southside again choosing the kickoff. Here's McDaniel. He'll bring that back to the Hawk 41-yard line, and Milan starts another drive.
Turns the ball back to the 41-yard line. 1st and 10.
In Southside territory. Dyersburg and South Gibson having a classic game tonight in Medina. You lose that game, and well, if you're Dyersburg, you're done. If you're South Gibson, if you lose tonight, and with the prospects of having to play in Milan next week, you're probably done there as well. Fumble. Walker, I think, he was able to recover his own fumble. never really had that ball.
I'll take 6 minutes.
Yeah. Pay on my water.
The loss is 2.
Yeah, I think. I think I want 2.
2nd and 12. Trips, bottom of the screen. Landon goes shotgun. He'll hand it off. Ballards corralled and dumps for a loss.
Number 65 for the Hawks. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage by Jordan Taylor.
Now Tennessee plays down in Tuscaloosa tomorrow. 3rd down. Alabama, double-digit favorites. I think it'll be much closer than people think. In fact, I think that's a game I can see Tennessee with a lead late in the game. And I can also, unfortunately, see Alabama scoring late to win it. I'm saying 19-14, Alabama. Here's Walker rolling right, firing, caught at the 30, making a move inside to the 25, and Brooks
Pass is complete.
is all the way down to the Southside 17.
1st and 10.
The pressure came, and Walker moved outside the pocket. He keeps his head up and his eyes downfield the entire time, and finds the Martinez Brooks, and Milan is right back in the red zone. Nice play by Landon Walker and by Brooks. Here's Ballard. Inside to 15, taken off his feet near the 12.
Anthony Ballard.
Anthony Ballard runs so well in traffic, especially when you
2nd down.
take into consideration he's only a sophomore. Many people, including this broadcaster, think this guy's the next great Milan running back. His play action, Walker rolling left. Firing, intercepted at the goal line.
Pass is intercepted.
Oh boy, you don't see Landon make that mistake very often.
4th down, Bass.
So Southside comes up with a big play. Landon Walker. He was looking for Jonathan Crabb, but picked off Fidel Bass.
Yeah, I guess that's right.
And
You're
with
live anyway.
3 minutes and change left in quarter number 3, Southside will get the ball back. Just outside the own 5. Here's Beard. Handing off, nothing. I mean, nothing for Robinson that time. And his Southside team, remember, they started 5-0. And we cautioned that that was the weak part of their schedule, and boy, oh boy. 5-3 coming into this game, and barring a miracle, they'll go out. They'll leave tonight at 5-4 and only 2-4 in region play. 2nd down, Beard across the middle, caught. Out near the 24-yard line, that's going to be plenty enough for the 1st down. As Beard connects with Mark Ballard, his senior receiver. Crossing pattern between 3 Bulldogs.
Hey, I'm out of kit. I'm out of kit. About done cashed in.
Southside moves the sticks. Milan showing blitz. Here's Beard back to throw. Goes underneath. Has it complete and out of bounds at the 31. That's Ballard again on the reception. 2, maybe 3 on 1st down.
Look at that kid.
Milan closes out the regular season next week. At home to South Gibson comes calling. His Beard back to throw. Pump fakes, goes deep down the sideline, and Ballard has it and then drops it.
Pass is incomplete. Intended for number 5, Mark Ballard.
Cameron Oliver on the coverage. I think, well, let me take another look at this in eye care group instant replay. I thought Ballard may have had this. He did. That was a catch and a fumble, I thought.
Nobody around to pick it up.
Well, the other guy should have jumped on him.
But again, I must admit there's a reason why the officials don't call the game from up here in the press box. 3rd down and 7. On the ground, not much. Buckner and company didn't play. It's been tough sledding all night for these Southside running backs. Milan with a size advantage. Speed advantage. Kind of a workman-like performance tonight from the Bulldogs. 31-6 advantage. 4th down and 5. Another 4th down. This is the 5th one tonight. Southside has rolled the dice on. They converted 2 of those. Here's Beard back to throw. Fires. Drops. It's incomplete, and Milan will take over.
Incomplete. Intended for number 12, Jay Thorpe. Ball goes over on downs. The Milan Bulldogs. 1st and 10.
Yeah, that should have been caught. That would have been a 1st down for Southside. And the Bulldogs leading 31-6. We're late in quarter number 3. We'll set up shop 1st and 10 from the Hawk 34. Here's McDaniel straight ahead. 2, maybe 3 yards in 1st down for Tristan McDaniel.
Storm Williams. 2nd down.
Reagan Supreme Muffler in Milan. Not only do they specialize in mufflers, but they specialize in tires and exhaust systems, oil changes and brakes. It's Supreme Muffler. Here's Ballards breaking a tackle. Has the 30, has the 25. Look out. 10-5 touchdown.
Number 8.
Anthony Ballard.
Touchdown.
Beautiful run by Ballards. This one will cover 32 yards in the Bulldog touchdown. Ballard breaks a tackle right there at the line. And another gorgeous cutback. And it bounces it outside. Nice blocking downfield. Brooks blocking downfield, the wide receiver. And Ballard scoots into the end zone. And the Bulldogs take a 37-6 lead. And we got some laundry. Offsides on the Hawks.
Penalty is declined.
Well, Milan declines the penalty. A little better angle. Kicking it from the chin. Connor. Yes, sir. 28 seconds left. Quarter number 3. Milan in command, 38-6.
Score with 28 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Milan Bulldogs 38, Southside Hawks 6.
Connor Allen to kick off again from Milan. Get a report from South Gibson. It's a Hornet lead. Here's Southside. Back to the 15, and that's it. Well, Jeff Morris's teams through the years, they get better as the year progresses, and no difference this year.
Number 14, on the return.
Now, typically, it's not a 1-3 start. It was this year.
First and 10 Hawks.
But Milan a quarter away from picking up their 6th win. And their 5th consecutive W.
The younger one? No. Fish Jones. Oh.
And Southside just over a quarter away from losing their 4th consecutive game. It's going to be a delay of the game on Southside. No, Milan had too many on the field. So, it'll be a 5-yard penalty. Southside will have it 1st and 5. Beard goes under center. And I'm not sure what that was. Beard may have lost that ball on the exchange. That's going to do it for quarter number 3. We'll move on to the 4th quarter when we come back. Milan with a 38-6 advantage here at Southside.
You're watching the BallGame Blitz.
On to the 4th quarter. Milan with a 38-6 advantage. Southside with it 1st and 5 from their own 20. Beard shotgun, trips bottom of the screen. Beard rolling left. He'll keep it. Has room. Has the 30. Beard, look out. He's to midfield. Look out. Beard may go. Beard all the way down to the 20 before he's dragged down.
Number 16. Number 18.
Ricky Beard. Now you can see how athletic Beard is. You put him out in space. And boy, how fast is Blake Miller to run him down. Pardon me. Biggest play of the game for the Hawks. Pardon me. Beard back to the air, high and incomplete. We want to say hello to our good friend Tommy Dean. Tommy's the head volleyball coach here at Jackson Southside. He guided his Lady Hawks all the way to the state tournament in volleyball. Tremendous season for Southside volleyball. Tommy Dean, one of the great Americans. And I mean great American, Tommy is. Coach Dean, just want to say hello to you tonight. Here's Beard rolling left. Beard looking, Beard hammered. It's loose, right into the arms of a Hawk and ushered out of bounds. And Beard, Robinson took it out of bounds. Beard took a major league hit here. And Storm Williams just bam. That was a fumble. Picked out of the end. Storm Williams just laid him out. To Beard's credit, he's back up and in there. Here's Beard back to throw. Beard, end zone, high, incomplete.
Pass is incomplete from Ricky Beard to 48 Kenny.
Kenny, his target. The Beard in heavy traffic again. Here's Beard. Firing end zone and caught inside the 5. I said end zone. It was inside the 5 and it's complete to Kadero Kenny, and Southside will have a 1st and goal situation.
That's enough yardage for Miller. First South, touchdown.
Atkinson with the coverage. It wasn't bad coverage, but Beard, when he's able to step into his throws, has a nice, solid, rocket-like right arm. Full house backfield. Beard goes under center. On the ground near the goal line. Did it get in? Yes.
Touchdown.
Touchdown.
That's another Mitchell's body shot. Touchdown. Hawks.
It's Robinson for 6. Extra point attempt. That one is off to the left and no good. So with 10:54 left in the game, it's Milan 38 and Southside 12 here on the BallGame Blitz. (38-12) Milan, Southside. Kicking off to the Bulldogs. It's a ground ball covered up on Milan into 34. Well, breaking down district, or make that region 7, 3A. Liberty's they're way out in front of McNair tonight. They'll move to 9-0. They've got Southside next week. Liberty, Milan, Westview, and Dyersburg. Dyersburg, South Gibson winner tonight. It's probably going to claim the 4 seed. So that's going to be your playoff teams. Let me make a prediction. Liberty 1, Milan 2, Westview 3, and Dyersburg 4. So that would have South Gibson after starting 6-0, missing the playoffs. Here's Ballards. Ballards, nice run. He'll have a Bulldog first down out to the 46. So that would have Milan starting 1-3, and then claiming the 2 seed with a win here tonight and then finishing next week with a win over South Gibson. Westview, who came into tonight's action at 4-4, but in region play they were 3-2. South Gibson coming into tonight with the 4 seed, but if they lose tonight, they would drop behind Dyersburg. J.P. Porter on the carry from Milan. My prediction is Liberty 1, Milan 2, Westview 3, and Dyersburg with 4 seed. But if South Gibson wins tonight, it would be South Gibson with that 4 seed. No matter what happens next week in Milan, but South Gibson has to win tonight. And they've got the lead late in the game. Porter again with room inside the 30. Look out. Porter's all the way down to the 26-yard line. J.P. Porter, he doesn't get a chance to run the ball that often, the junior, but boy, he's making the most of his opportunities.
Number 88, Sirius Woodrick. Enough yardage for a Bulldog first down.
So Milan on the move again. Bulldogs open the game with a fury, blocking a punt for a safety. Then after the free kick, punching it in to take a 9-0 lead. Southside did close it to 9-6 at one time. Here's Ballards inside the 25. He'll be marked at the 24. Let's pick up of a couple on first down.
Second down.
It is good to see these two teams meet again for the first time since 2002. Old rivals, Milan and Southside. Ballard again, hammered. Oh boy, he's okay.
Tackled on the play. Number 58 for the Hawks.
Wasn't afraid his leg got rolled on, but he's okay.
Third down.
Last time these two teams played was in 2002. Milan won 23-7.
Thomas McGowan for the Hawks. Third down.
Third and 9 for Milan. Landon Walker, the QB, out of the gun. He'll hand it off. Ballard hit and dropped in the backfield. Well, nice play
Number 54, Noah Cox.
by Noah Cox for Southside. And we've got a Hawk down on the play.
On the field, injured Hawk.
Well, not sure what happened there. Comes Dr. McAdoo from Milan. See if he can assist. We'll be right back. Well, it was an ambulance.
Why the game look at?
Say a prayer for the injured Hawk. 4th down at Milan. Here is Walker back to throw. Here comes the pressure. Walker fires and incomplete. Looking for Brooks. And Milan can't convert.
3 C.J. Hunt. Ball goes over on downs to the Hawks.
Well, nice throw. Backpedaling. Hunt on the coverage, and the Hawks will take over 1st and 10.
Walk in there and be that gonna something.
Beard is shotgun. Here's Beard rolling left. Got a man, caught, Hunt is shoved out of bounds at the 36.
Number 23, C.J. Hunt for Ricky Beard. 2nd down.
So Willingham missing this game for Southside, the quarterback, who's had a very good year, Cade Willingham. 17 touchdowns in the season. He's thrown for right at 2,000 yards, 1,968 yards, 17 touchdowns only, and 9 interceptions. Here's Beard in trouble. Beard, ball's loose. Who's got it? Well, Southside able to cover it up, but Beard, boy. Yeah, Beard able to get on it back at the 25-yard line. Storm Williams is just tormented Ricky Beard all night long. Here's Beard again, back to throw. Again, the pressure comes. Fires and caught out at the 29-yard line, and flags come in.
Number 5, Mark Ballard.
Mark Ballard on the reception.
He was down the field, 15 yards.
Illegal downfield for the Hawks.
I think we got somebody downfield illegally. Yep, get him. Illegal man downfield on Southside is the indication. Yep. How many downfield illegally is the real question. No Beard back to throw. Here comes the pressure. Sacked. Well, the ball's loose, but after the whistle had blown on the sack this time, Jaleel Buckner. Beard's defense, he's played well tonight. Filling in for the injured Willingham. He's had a lot of pressure. Southside going to be forced to punt it away. Line driver. Milan just going to let it roll. And it rolls and rolls inside the 40 and out of bounds at the 38. And flags, of course, down.
Penalty against the Bulldogs, takes the ball back to the 27-yard line. 1st and 10 Bulldogs.
Blocking it back on Milan. They'll tag that on. Line of scrimmage. The Bulldog 27. On the ground, McDaniel crosses the 30 out to the 32. It's a gain of
On the
5.
play by number 65, Jordan Taylor. Second down.
Jordan Taylor in on the stop for Southside. Second and 5 from Milan. 2 wide, split top of the screen. Here's Ballard. Ballard makes a move, crossing the 40, spins out of a tackle, out to the 47. Anthony Ballard running well tonight from Milan.
That's enough yardage for a Bulldog first down.
Ballard with 3 touchdowns in a night. He's eclipsed the century mark again, the sophomore running back. Breaking taste, strong and fast, and has very, very good field vision. This guy has it all. McDaniel again for a couple. McNail Grange Insurance Agency. See John Moore and his staff for all your insurance needs. Downtown Milan, they specialize in customizing a plan that fits you perfectly at McNail Grange Insurance. 686-0765. Tell John we sent you down there. He'll take great care of you. Here's Milan on the ground. Nothing there.
For 65 for the Hawks on the tackle, Jordan Taylor.
Yeah, y'all go.
Wade Gunn on the carry.
Third down.
Because I was here.
Junior running back for the Bulldogs. Back to Gunn, nothing there.
For 52 on the tackle, Garrett Evans.
Logan Nelson in there. It's a QB as Jeff Moore's emptying the bench. Logan is a sophomore. Logan goes shotgun. To the air he goes. Has his man underneath. And dragging tacklers near that first down marker.
Pass is complete.
He may be a little bit shy.
Okay. You want me getting this? You want Bud? I got that.
It's Johnny Little's out there on the reception. So nicely done. Logan Nelson. And that's going to be enough for a Bulldog first down. First and 10 from the Southside 44. Nelson goes under center. He'll hand it off to the fullback straight ahead. Milan just grinding the clock. Big fourth quarter lead.
Ball carries tackle on play by number 56 for the Hawks. Thomas McGowan.
The gain was 3 on first down. It's 2nd and 7. We'll call it 8. 2nd and 8. Well, now let's call it 2nd and 7. Hey, I just work here. Back to the ground. Not much. Copeland Ray,
Is number 29, Copeland Ray.
sophomore running back for the Bulldogs, getting a chance
Third down.
to carry the football tonight with a big fourth quarter lead. This is either win, let's see. Timeouts. On the field, we'll take it with them. Milan with a big lead here in the fourth quarter. Oh, wait, did I say timeout? The game's over. I was looking for, it's win number 204 for Jeff Morris. That's what I was efforting. Milan wins it. 6-3 on the season, the Bulldogs.
High School.
You're watching the Ball Game Blitz.